Food Court, the movie podcast and Twitch stream where Sean
And Michael.
watch shit, talk shit, and most importantly, eat
Eat
shit.
shit.
We are the law.
Law.
It is Carpentober
Whew.
on Food Court. We are watching a John Carpenter film every week, each and every week. We have watched so far The Thing. And last week we watched John Carpenter's Vampires. So go back and listen to those if you haven't.
Yeah.
And this week we watched In the Mouth of Madness.
Yes, we did. That's
and
correct.
Next week we're watching Body Bags. And then the week after that, we're watching Halloween 1 and 2 as a special Halloween double feature.
Wow.
Even though John Carpenter didn't direct Halloween 2 and he wrote it, but still, I don't know why we're counting that, but we decided to count it.
Yeah.
We're allowed to do whatever we want. This is our show.
The further on we go, the more we stretch. Because he didn't really do Body Bags, right?
I mean, kind of. He did like 2/3 of Body Bags.
Okay, there we go.
And he's the Crypt Keeper kind of character, Body Bags.
Oh,
so he, right?
I thought you just meant he also played the Crypt Keeper. I thought you were going to stop.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah, I was like, what?
Yeah, he played the Crypt Keeper. Also, you know that movie Die Hard? He played the main guy in Die Hard.
Wow.
That's pretty crazy, isn't it?
That is
he played
crazy.
The main. You know, it looks like Bruce Willis, but that's how good John Carpenter is.
He is a great actor.
He inhabits the character.
Methods.
And it was interesting because then, other than the TV show that Moonlighting, Bruce wasn't that well known. So it was pretty weird for John Carpenter to inhabit Bruce Willis, who was not even that big of a star. Pretty strange stuff.
He is all about the craft. That's all I'll say. That's the last thing I'll say on this whole podcast.
The witch movie? The Craft?
No. Yeah.
The Teen Witch?
He played every witch in that movie.
Holy shit.
Crazy.
John Carpenter, mostly known as a director, perhaps a musician, but actually one of the greatest actors of all time.
All time.
I mean, even if he's not, I wouldn't say the performances in The Craft are that great, but the fact that he inhabited the same space with himself as like 3 weird white ladies and a black lady.
Yeah.
Pretty astonishing work.
Yes, for the time, for any time.
For any time.
It's amazing.
Yeah. I mean, if you go back 2,000 years and there's one man standing in 4 different spots having a conversation with himself.
Yes. And one is black. That is
one is black.
Wild.
I mean, 2,000 years ago, if one of them is black, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah, I can't believe it.
That's fucking crazy.
Wow.
Michael?
Yes, sir.
We have lost something. In the making of this show, we used to eat.
Oh, yeah.
And so I want to bring back something right now, something special.
Uh-oh.
And I want to talk about eating shit.
I love eating shit.
There's this hot new thing, both literally and figuratively, that I am way into that I want to share with you and the people watching and the people listening and the people who aren't even listening.
No.
If there's just someone in their house who will never watch or listen to this, I want them to somehow have a feeling about this chip. Okay.
Yes.
This is the chip. I've told you about it, but the people need to hear about it. Okay.
I love chips.
Here we go.
Okay.
Flamin' hot. There's no G. FLAMIN apostrophe hot. Dill. Pickle chips. Now I had the same thought that you had when I first heard about it.
You also flew back into a wall.
Yeah, I smashed into a wall. You can't see it, but I still have kind of blood running down. Yes, I turn around and there's just blood stains all over my back.
It's perfect for Halloween. Blood.
Yes.
I love blood. Anyways, go on about these chips.
Flamin' hot. Okay. The first time I heard about it, I saw it in the store and I went, I don't know about that. But I was feeling insane. Like this whole thing, all of this stuff, it's made me make weird choices. So I was just like, I'm getting that. And then the moment I took a bite, I was like, this is everything I want out of a snack. It's spicy. And it is tangy.
Like a pickle.
And it's a little crunchy. Like a chip.
So,
what I'm trying to say is, listener, Michael, watcher, everyone, person in the Andes, just trying to subsist, trying to live up in the Andes, despite the cold, bitter weather.
Andes.
Get some flaming hot dill pickle chips, put them in your mouth, and get back to me about it.
Wow.
You can tweet at me at Sean Parrott. You can tweet at Food Court Cast. Either way, I want to hear your opinions. And if you hate it, I will do nothing for you.
Yeah.
There's no money back guarantee. I can't afford that. But if I ever get rich, if you hear like, oh, did you hear about Sean's net worth? It's $35 million. If you hear that like next year, then email me and I'll give you the whatever, $350.
Wow.
Whatever it cost you for the bag. That is my guarantee. If I ever have $35 million, I will send you $3.50. Unless there's a million people listening to this, in which case I will instantly lose my entire fortune.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, you better be careful if this pops off, as if clearly this podcast is popping off.
Yes.
Popped. You are going to be severely effed.
This is my rebuttal to that counterpoint. I won't. And here's why. Because the chips are so good.
Oh, let the chips fall where they may. That's what I always say.
Hey, I know a good place for them to fall, Michael.
Your stomach.
Right into my mouth.
No
I just
chewing.
Eat them. No.
I
swallow them immediately. And I let the chip pieces scratch my throat. And I go,
this is a great chip.
And I go, Food Court movie podcast where
Sean chokes on a chip.
And then they give me the little hole.
And then you can pull the chip out and eat it again.
Yeah. Don't mind if I do. Ooh, it's a little moist this time.
It does sound like a chip that I would like to suck on real good.
Yeah, man.
Get all that
Jerk
flavor.
That chip off, dude.
I'm gonna. Yeah.
Michael.
Anyways, yeah.
This is enough chip talk. I'm sorry.
Enough chip. We got those chips off our
talk
shoulders.
About eating.
Yeah. But wait.
Now.
One more thing before we get to the whole point
of this
about
more chips?
Yeah. I wanted to ask, what brand was it?
I think it's a Lay's brand.
Wow. Okay, Lay's.
Aren't all Flamin' Hot chips in the Lay's family?
Maybe. Is Cheetos Lay's? Is Cheetos Lay's?
I think nearly every food that is contained in sort of a silvery bag that's about
that big.
8 inches by 1 foot tall. I think every product
is Lay's. Well,
nearly.
I was just going to say, hey, Lay's, if you want to sponsor us, we would love that because we know you're listening. Come on. And
Mr. Lay's?
Send us bags of those chips and send us bags of your new flavors.
Yeah. If you've got a Flamin' Hot birthday cake chip.
Send it.
Flamin' Hot incense chip, Flamin' Hot
toes,
big toe,
Flamin' Hot pumpkins.
Flamin' Hot pumpkin.
I was gonna say I kept thinking you were saying filet mignon, but
filet mignon.
Filet mignon. Anyways, enough chip talk, Sean. Jeez.
Fuck, who cares about chips? Why did I bring it up?
You keep going on about these fucking chips.
God, I'm such an idiot.
Yeah.
But you know what is not an idiot? The feature film In the Mouth of Madness, directed by John Carpenter, written by John LaDuca, I think.
Wow.
I hope I didn't say his name wrong.
You know so
Michael
much.
DeLuca. Sorry.
Oh, Michael DeLuca.
Michael DeLuca.
My cousin.
There's a composer named John LoDuca who did Army of Darkness. And there's a writer obviously named Michael DeLuca.
Dodo.
That's not important. What is important is we watched In the Mouth of Madness,
and
I'm going to do the plot because I don't want to put you through that. But I will ask, will you, Michael, talk for 7 seconds while I take a big drink of water?
Yes. Oh my gosh, I am talking. This movie was absolutely nuts, and I can't wait to hear the synopsis. Hit it.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is what happens in The Mouth of Madness. We join our main character, played by Sam Neill. His name is John Trent. That's a good name.
It's a great name.
He is a private dick. He is, in some ways, a Maltese Falcon style old school private dick. except he works for insurance companies.
Yes.
He's trying to uncover people's schemes. So he knows what they're up to. He's a smart guy. He's tough talking. He is cynical. He doesn't believe in all this bullshit. And he has a new assignment. This is what happens. Okay.
What?
So he's having dinner with his friend. They just cracked a really good case. And a man walks across the street with an axe.
Yes.
He breaks through the window. He has 2 pupils in each eye, which is really cool.
So cool.
And he says in a weird disembodied, obviously recorded after the movie was made, voice, "Do you read Sutter Cane?"
Yeah.
Which is amazing.
Very intense.
It's so good. And we find out that his assignment is Sutter Cane. Sutter Cane, the great horror writer, has disappeared. And he hasn't brought the company, the what is it? A publisher? Yeah,
publisher?
He has not brought the publisher their new book, which is called, spoiler alert, In the Mouth of Madness. There's tons of spoilers in this, by the way.
Yeah.
We will only spoil. In case you're like, I want to hear a whole podcast where no one spoils the movie. Well, too fucking bad. We spoil it. We've already spoiled it pretty much.
If you came here thinking that, talk about madness. What's wrong with you?
Yeah. Hey, go to the dentist. Because you're in the mouth of madness, baby.
Yeah.
He's going to give you some, I don't know, some kind of gel, toothpaste to fix up your mouth, your madness teeth.
You need it.
So, he meets, in addition to meeting the late, great Charlton Heston, who is sort of underutilized in this because the late great Charlton Heston was at his best when he was being completely insane. in Planet of the Apes, when he's just like, "Ah, you motherfuckers, you fucking apes, I hate apes." But he's still good.
He's just like at the zoo.
Yeah.
Screaming.
Otters! I hate otters too. I can't stand otters. They're so adorable, swimming around. They're a mammal, but they look like a fish. So he is. He runs this publisher, and they're trying to find Sutter Cane. They don't know where the fuck he is.
Where the fuck is he?
And they assign him. They assign our hero Sam Neill to go and find. I don't know, where the fuck is Sam? Where the fuck is Sutter Cane?
Sutter Cane.
And he's given this lady, essentially. I don't know why. She's just convenient. Yeah. So he's given this lady, Julie Carmen, played by Julie Carmen, and she is, I don't know what I mean, her job is she's an editor.
Yeah, she edits all his books.
I don't know why the fuck she needs to go on this journey, but it is a lot more interesting that way.
Yeah.
Just having Sam Neill in a car driving alone isn't quite as interesting as Sam Neill in a car with another person, and they can talk about stuff and let some of the thoughts of the author come out.
Yes, exactly.
Exactly. Yes. So they're kicking ass. They have not gone out on the road yet, but Sam has begun reading the books of Sutter Cane. And they are polluting his mind. More about that later.
Yes.
They are affecting the way he thinks.
Something's happening.
Something weird is happening. Is he having dreams? Is the book affecting him? It has, according to Julia, it has affected other people. What is her name? Oh, okay. Linda is her character.
Yeah.
According to Linda, it has affected the mind of, I think she says, like, weak-minded people or something, which is pretty rude to say about your about your readers.
We would never say that about the Kill Donkeys ever.
Our listeners and our watchers are not only intelligent, but they have like thick legs.
Yeah, very
like
thick
they could,
legs.
if you need them to pick up, say, a tree, they could do it.
Yeah.
So, Sam, his mind is a little fucked. And this is a thing. They finally get on the road because Sam finds the covers of the books.
Yes.
And he realizes there's a map. and it goes to fucking New Hampshire or something maybe. And so they go to New Hampshire, and their ride to New Hampshire is weird as fuck. Two things I need to mention about the ride to New Hampshire. One, Julie playing Linda. They're really generic names, so it's hard to. Linda is the character. She says something. There were a lot of times in this movie when I went, because there are a lot of moments in this that feel prescient. I mean, time keeps happening over and over again. The same thing happens over and over again. So any movie that is smart feels prescient. But in this line, there's lots of riots on TV, like shit like that. But this line really got to me because they're talking about fiction. You know, Sam doesn't believe in this shit. He's like, that's all bullshit. It's not reality. And she says, sane and insane could easily switch places if the insane find themselves in the majority. And I was like, oh, fuck, no.
That's scary.
No. I mean, it's so right. But it made me so scared. Yeah. So they're having a wild ride. Freaky things are happening on the way to Hobbs End. That's where they're trying to go. They see a man a little boy who's riding his bike. And then a moment later, he's a man. He's an old man. Which makes me think he's just been riding his bike for like 60 years, probably, right?
Yeah, I guess.
And I also thought, furthermore, do his legs ever get tired, Michael?
Oh, wow. I don't know. I mean...
Furthermore, this is a question about later in the movie, but we will come back to the man riding his bike. Sam gets stuck in like a similar time loop where he can't drive out of town later. Do you have unlimited gas in this time loop?
Yeah, I guess
Or at some point, do you run out of gas?
I wondered that. I was like, I would just keep driving until my car just like stopped working.
Yeah, what the hell?
I guess.
Have some fun.
I guess not. But I did. There was something when the bike rider happened. I was like, oh, John Carpenter. Like when it turned into the old guy, and then it's just like totally just like a mask, like a fake old person when he gets like run over, and it just cracked me up because I was like, oh, I figured something, and I was like, no.
He's doing the Hitchcock where he appears in his own film.
Nope,
it's not him. But when they run into this old man, which is really freaky and weird. There's lots of freaky shit in this movie. This is a freaky ass movie.
It's really freaky.
Okay. He gets hit by the car. The old man who has a young boy's voice. He has the little kid's voice.
Yeah.
I can't get out. It won't let me out. Shit like that is like, ooh,
it's
you
so
got to
freaky.
me, movie.
Yeah.
I like that shit. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So they get to the town. The town is fucked. There's a weird old church. There's townspeople who hate Sutter Cane because they're beginning to understand that he wrote all of them. It's just weird shit.
He's doing
the
something.
Lady who runs the hotel is this crazy old lady. She's fantastic. She is played by Frances Bay.
She's great.
She's like the old lady in every movie from 1979 to 1990.
Yes.
She's every old lady, and she's fantastic.
She's a great actress.
She is really funny in this.
Yeah.
she deserves a special note that she did a great job.
Yes.
Okay. We're plowing through this. Let's get through it so I don't talk about it the whole time. Okay. They are in Hobbs End. It's fucked up. The church is fucked up. They meet Sutter Cane. Sutter Cane is like, hey, I wrote all of you. You motherfuckers are in my book. And Sam Neill's like, fuck that. I'm just a regular private detective who happens to talk like a pulp novel private detective. I'm not a character in a book.
Wow.
And we slowly find out that perhaps he is, in fact, or he's insane. We don't quite know.
No idea.
I think by the end we know. I think by the end we know. Oh shit! I totally forgot the frame story.
Oh yeah.
I'm a fool. At the very beginning, roll
Roll
back
back
tape.
the credits.
At the very beginning, they're taking Sam Neill into an insane asylum because he's insane.
Yeah.
And this is a good part, which I wrote down and I did not read. He kicks one of the orderlies in the balls,
Yes.
which is great.
Classic.
Then he says, as they put him in his room, he says, "I'm sorry about the balls."
Yeah, that
it was
cracked
just a
me
lucky
up.
shot.
Yeah, I died. Sorry about the balls.
And they keep the ball thing going because they cut back upstairs, and the orderly is like painedly, he's like grimacing as he walks. His balls are obviously destroyed.
They've been kicked.
He's just doing that. And then later, as this, I don't know what he is, some kind of government employee comes to interview him, he says, "There's a guard with a pair of swollen testicles who swears you want out of here."
Yeah.
There's just like so much ball talk. Okay, I got that out of the way. He's in the insane asylum. We're back in the town, and shit is increasingly insane.
Yes.
There's like weird little kids eating dog legs. The townspeople are all fucked. The lady who runs the hotel has weird thing tentacles.
Yes.
The paintings move.
Weird faces.
Shit is fucked up. And you know what? Sam Neill's gonna see about this shit.
Yeah.
And he goes into the church and he says, "Sutter Cane, you better stop this shit." And Sutter Cane's like, "Nah,
No.
I will not." And he uses powers to rip his head apart, which is kind of...
He becomes paper.
He becomes the book itself.
Yeah.
And then creatures from the beyond,
Ooh.
ancient creatures, come and chase Sam.
Yes.
And he wakes up in the middle of the street, and you know what? It was all a dream. Or was it? There's a lot of that. There's pretty much every scene is, it was all a dream, or was it?
Yeah.
And he's on a bus.
Spooky.
Trying to get the fuck out of there.
Yeah.
And this is not my hero, but one of my very favorite parts of the movie. He wakes up from a dream, again, maybe, and he's sitting next to Sutter Cane.
Who was an old lady.
Yes, who was an old lady, and also the guy playing him, Jürgen Prochnow, has like kind of flowing, almost old lady looking hair.
Yeah.
So like the cut, you begin to see his hair, and then you see Jürgen Prochnow, and he's like, "Whoa, that's not an old lady." And Jürgen's like, "Did you know that my favorite color is blue?" And you're like, "What the fuck does that mean?" Well, old Sam wakes up, and he is in an entirely blue bus.
Ugh.
Everyone's wearing blue clothes.
Blue, blue, blue.
The old lady's hair is blue. We're talking film history here. Like, one of my favorite shots.
It's
in
very
movies,
striking.
just because it's so cool.
It's
You're
wild.
Like, I don't even know how they accomplished this. Obviously, they just, put everybody in outfits and then changed the upholstery. But you see it and you go, this is weird to look at. Okay.
Very.
He gets back, and you know what? He talks to Heston again. He's like, "I went to this crazy town, and it's fucked. And you know what? This shit is bullshit. I hate this shit." And Heston's like, "There was no lady. You weren't with a lady."
Oh, yeah.
And also, we're making a movie of the thing.
Yes.
So even the people who don't like to read, which is pretty great.
Oh, yeah.
Even the dummies.
Yeah, they're gonna get it.
Yeah, even the dum-dums. And earlier they said that, like, dum-dums read these books.
Yeah.
But even the really dummy dum-dums who will not read the books, they will see the movie.
Yes.
And it's gonna make them crazy, like Sam is crazy.
Yeah, and big plot point, whoever looks at the manuscript starts to mutate and turn into a creature and gets kind of pulled under his control or something like that.
Yes.
So
Linda totally disappears in some way.
Yeah.
She turns into a creature. Does she die? What the fuck happens to her?
Well,
when he goes away.
She's just like standing there when all those creatures pour out of it. So who knows? Who knows? But she's a creature too, so maybe she's fine. Maybe she's chilling.
And she may not even exist.
Yeah.
And also he may not exist.
Exactly.
And none of it may exist. So he we find out that he probably had himself committed because he was afraid of what was going to happen in this crazy country
Yes.
because people are getting fucked up. And how he has himself committed is he he kills a guy with an axe.
That part was crazy. I was
It's
like,
so
holy
good.
shit.
There's just a guy coming out of the bookstore, and Sam just walks up to him and he goes, "Oh, you read Sutter Cane?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, I love Sutter Cane." He's like, "Oh, then you probably expect this."
Yeah.
And he just kills him with an axe.
It's great.
And then take him to the loony bin.
As you
And
do.
somehow, the doors in this loony bin are fucking strong
Yeah.
because he survives what is essentially the apocalypse.
Yeah. Seems like it.
There's monsters ripping people to shreds. They have torn his door apart. Like, you see big claw marks
It's
in the door.
nuts.
And he goes, and he's walking down the street, and he sees a little something on the marquee. Huh. In the Mouth of Madness, starring John Trent.
Yeah.
That's me.
Yeah, the poster
I'm
is
John
him.
Trent.
It's crazy.
And he walks into the movie, and he watches
With
it.
popcorn, he gets popcorn.
He gets popcorn.
I love it.
Where the fuck does he get the popcorn?
I think he went back there on his own and brewed it. Brewed it.
He
Popped
brewed it. He ground the popcorn kernels. He put it into the filter.
And he went.
He poured water through it, and then popcorn came out.
Pop goes the weasel, babies.
And he begins to laugh, and that's the end of our movie.
Yeah. Well, he's
It's
what
like-
the footage is like. It's not
Yes.
reality. This is reality. It's not real. And he's just like.
He's like, "You got me, whoever." I don't know.
He's just like, I'm.
And he has no fucking clue.
And then, but then as the movie cuts to black, you hear a, which is the sound of the tentacles. So you're like,
Yes.
Did he turn into
Does
one?
he get tentacled, or
Does he turn into?
is he a monster?
I don't know.
Michael,
Yes, sir.
I think that's the whole thing.
I think you did it, and I think you did it well, and
It was kind of long, but not super long.
Well, considering I did an entire episode.
Yeah.
Of synopsis.
Not too bad. Do you want to do your Euro, Michael?
Oh my
Are
gosh.
you ready for action?
Yeah, I think so. Lights,
Okay, go
camera,
ahead.
baby. I think it's hard. See, it's last time was hard because it was not my favorite movie. This time it's hard because it was really well done.
This
And
was your first time, right?
yeah, first time ever seeing this. I was like, not sure. I didn't watch a trailer. I didn't read what it was about. I was like, this is gonna be interesting.
Completely blind.
Yeah,
That's really exciting.
Yeah.
Watching a movie like this completely blind is so lucky.
yes. Imagine.
'Cause-
Oh,
No,
go ahead. No.
No, I want
no,
you to go
no.
ahead. Michael, would you go ahead?
Well, I just imagine I would love to have seen it in the theater for the first time. Like, that would have been crazy. Like, not knowing anything. Just like,
Mhm.
oh, what's this about? I like mouths. I love madness. Let me just.
I love in.
Yeah.
I hate the, but I'll deal with it if I get in and of.
Yes, I love Carpenters. That seems like a good
Jesus.
profession. Yeah.
JC.
See, so I'm gonna see this movie, and I go in, I get some popcorn, much like John Trent.
Wow.
I would have
The
loved
parallels.
That. Ugh. I hope if the world ever is not, what it is now,
The end
and
of the
somehow,
world?
yeah,
If the world turns around and isn't ending anymore.
yeah, because I'd love they to play this at like a little theater or something. That'd be fun. That'd be fun.
I would love that.
Oh,
Belcourt, if you're listening,
yeah,
we want to watch it
please
on your screen if public places ever exist again.
Yes, probably not, but
Michael, what's your Euro? Just
Oh,
tell
yeah.
us your fucking Euro. What is it?
Oh my gosh, it's so hard to pick. But that blue scene was absolutely fantastic.
It's so good.
I love it, and I just have that's so hard to pick. But the
You can
practicals,
pick three.
I always love practicals.
There's no one. There's no one here to
To
stop
stop
you
me.
from picking 53 different things
Yeah,
you love about.
We are the law.
We yes.
So we get
We
to
are
pick.
Judge Dredd. We grumble hot shot,
Bark, bark, bark.
and then we blast somebody.
I'm gonna blast. I'm blasting off the blue scene on the bus, which I
Yes.
wonder too if they had like a blue filter over the camera.
Maybe.
Because it was a gel.
I wondered if they put like filters in the windows itself.
It seemed like it. That's what.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was so vividly blue. That was like beautiful. I was like, whoa. It was
So
very
good.
creative, and I just
Yeah.
love that. And yeah, so all the practical stuff, like when he grabs Linda, the writer guy, and he like puts her head to the book, and it like blasts the light in her face. I was like,
Yes.
that is crazy.
Yes.
I thought that stuff was absolutely great. So I think that was and Sam Neill's really great. He does.
Sam Neill is great.
He's really good at going crazy in movies. Like
Yes.
Jurassic Park, he's so like, which I love Jurassic Park, but he's just like a regular, I'm a scientist, archaeologist, whatever.
Me, I love Bones.
Yeah, I love Bones. This one, he's nuts. And first he's straight laced, and then he gets a little wacky. And I loved his wackiness, like when he's like covered in all the crosses and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Oh, there was a line I loved where the guy who comes to visit, I think he's like a therapist or something.
Yeah.
He's like,
Maybe.
I'm going to try and get you out of here. And then Sam Neill has put like black crosses over the whole padded cell and over his face. And then he goes, after all my redecorating, I think I'll stay. I was like, that's really nice. There was just some really, the writing was just more fun. I just enjoyed the whole movie, I guess. It was so fun.
It's a great time.
Yeah, it was wacky and scary, and I seriously jumped quite a few. I was like, oh my god!
It's got some good ass jump scares.
Yeah, and they're earned. They're not just like willy nilly.
Oh, Michael, I want to tell you about my Euro.
Oh yes,
my
please.
beef lamb Euro. Favorite part of this movie.
Please.
It is one of the scares, and I think it is, if not the finest, one of the finest scares in the history of John Carpenter's oeuvre.
Wow.
I mean, it's up there. Okay, the one in Halloween where he opened the door and there's a body that swings out.
That was scary.
That's one of the great ones.
Very scary.
Even though, like, I don't know how the fuck there's a body up there. I don't even want to understand how he like made a lever, and then who knows how he did it.
Who knows?
It doesn't matter, but it's scary as fuck. And there's one in this. There's many in this, but there's one.
Yes.
There's a cop scare in this that is fucking awesome.
Oh my god.
Because it's a master at work, and he's just kicking ass.
Yes.
Because he is so smart that there are like 3 different times when you think it's over and it's never over.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is what happens. Earlier in the movie, Sam's wandering around. He sees some posters, and he sees, once again, evocative of our current times, a cop just randomly beating the shit out of somebody.
Yes.
And the cop raises the stakes. He turns around and goes, "You want some too, buddy?"
Yeah.
It's just fucking weird.
Insane.
So fucking weird. And right in here, one of my a million favorite parts. There's like a microcosm of favorite parts inside of each favorite part.
Oh wow.
But we see, as the cop is beating up the guy, we see this spray paint that says "I-Ca."
Yeah.
I-C-A. And you go, "I-Ca."
I-Ca.
Like, you just instantly go, "I-Ca." Like, what does that mean?
I see a what?
And later you find out. So, later. This is probably 10 minutes later.
Yes.
Sam's hanging out in the house, and the phone rings. It's your kind of generic phone scare. He's talking to his boss, and he's like, "These books are actually pretty good, but I don't know, I feel weird. They're making me feel weird," whatever, that kind of thing. And it cuts to him reading, but he's sort of in a non-space. Like, the cut is very interesting because he's sitting on a couch, and then he is in just a room of nothingness. Like, there's not leather behind him anymore. It is just blackness, and he's reading and he's smoking, and he begins to see the cop beating the guy again.
Yes.
So we start to think, wait, is this a dream, or is this in the book?
Yeah. Oh wow.
I still don't know.
Oh, this is interesting. Yeah.
I don't think it is in the book, because the book that John Trent is in is in the Mouth of Madness, and he's reading the Hobbs End Horror.
Yes.
But what version of time and space he is in is a little confusing. So we see the cop beating a guy again. So we're thinking, no, probably a dream. But this time the "I can" says, "I can see." It's like, oh, spooky. And the cop turns around again, and he's got a weird, creepy face, and you go, "Oh, he's scared."
Scary.
And then he's like, does like a, oh, and he begins to read again. So once again, we think, are we inside of the book again? Who the fuck knows?
It's so crazy.
He's reading again. We see this cop scene again. Like, they go right back to the cop scene. The cop is fighting with he's like beating some homeless guy again. And then the axe-wielding madman with the double pupils in both eyes comes back with a bunch of other axe wielders.
Yes.
They kill that guy.
Yeah, it's intense.
He says, "I see you." There's lots of, like, in moments of great drama, there is crazy staccato editing. Where
it's awesome.
Just images of blood. There's an axe. There's images from earlier in the movie. There's images from much later in the movie. Time is meaningless in those cuts. And so as he wakes up from this horror, and you go, "Oh well, shit." That was
crazy.
No, wait. Sorry. Take it back 30 seconds. They're killing the guy with the axe, and this is how they get to the next scare. Okay, the next scare is they cut back to Sam, and the scary monster cop is behind him, about to hit him with a billy club.
Crazy.
And he wakes up, and you go, well, shit. I guess that's the end of those scares. Nothing scary left in this movie because they've already done 3 in a row. I'm all spooked. There's no chance there's even one more. So he's finally back in the real world. He's inhabiting a physical space. He's sitting back on the couch, and he's doing like a really, not even labored, just like he has plenty of time to go. Whoa, that was fucking crazy. Wow. Oh, boy. And then he turns, and the cop is there, and you go, "Holy fucking shit!"
That one got like I full on. I was like,
"Oh yes, It's one of my very favorite jump scares in all of history.
It was really,
and it's got like a really perfect jump scare noise. There's like a and it's like just. I think by itself would be kind of silly, but just like you're just like, ah!
It was
you're
so
fucking scared.
Yeah. Well, because it's like so nonchalantly, like he's just sitting next to you.
He's
like,
just sitting there. He doesn't say anything.
It's his face is so like scary on its own.
Yeah,
just, like,
just a creepy. His eyes are wide open. He's got kind of a gap mouth. It's just fucking creepy. And he wakes up again. So he's like, I don't know how many levels removed from the dream or the book or who the fuck knows. But there's something so special about the way that is all constructed.
Oh, it's
because
beautiful.
It's like, okay, there's the scare, there's another scare, there's a final scare, a scare that feels final because he is in the room again. He is awake. And then there's one more final scare.
It's the best.
Where he is once again back in reality.
Yeah, it's really well done. I was not expecting it at all. I was like, gosh, that was a freaky scene.
Wow, they really good.
And they do that kind of a couple times with him, which I thought it was so well done. One of my favorites was when they're on the road and Linda's like really sleepy and John Trent's asleep and she's like trying to stay awake. It's like after all the bike stuff. Which it's crazy that they hit somebody, he rides away, and then she drives.
They just keep driving.
I'm like, not at any point she wasn't like, oh, I'm like about to pass out.
Maybe I need a nap.
No, I'll pick up
an old man with a car. But around here they survive, so I guess I'll just hit a few more pedestrians and it'll be fine.
But then there's an amazing editing montage sequence where like things are like going dark and like the road's like completely gone, and it was like such a cool effect where the car is suddenly in the clouds and it's like thundering. Like it was so beautifully done. I was like, how did they do that? Like it was awesome.
I think that one was ILM.
It was beautiful.
I don't know how they did it.
It was beautiful.
I love that one too. There's so much good shit.
It's cut so well too. Like it cuts from like that, like she's like horrified, and then it's like you see like this roof going by, this like really strange wooden roof, and like
Yes.
light on the side. Like I was like, what is happening?
Yeah,
And
there's crazy
ugh,
lights, and then you see kind of the sort of windows of a covered bridge.
yeah, it
Like you
was
begin to
crazy.
understand that is a covered bridge, and they come out on the other
Somewhere.
side, and they
Yeah.
have arrived.
And yeah, I love how they just like roll in.
Yeah.
And then he wakes up and he's like, "Oh, you found like
Here we are
the
in
movie's
Hobbs End.
see
This.
well,
Go
John
ahead.
kind of brought up last time like John Carpenter loves, he's a goofy guy, but this time felt like really well done incorporation of like the horror and like the goofiness that it
Yes.
didn't really too many times like go over the board where it was just like, okay, that's a bad line or something. Like I felt like this was like really well balanced. Like everything was
Yes.
just well balanced. So
Oh yeah.
yeah, this was a redeeming film for me. I was like,
Post
wow.
vampires.
Post vampires, I loved it. And
A few
yeah.
things.
Oh, yes.
Okay. These are a few more positive things before we talk about negative
Oh,
things.
oh.
Okay, one,
Mm-hmm.
there's there's little kids in the town of Hobbs End, and they're chasing a dog,
Yeah.
and they're little weird monster kids. And at one point, there's a dog with 4 legs, and then later we see a dog with 3 legs,
Yeah.
implying that these children have eaten
Eating
one
its
of the dog's legs,
probably.
which is a weird thing. Of all the things to eat on a dog, you're not going to get much sustenance out of a dog leg. There's like not much meat on a dog leg, right?
I don't know. Every dog leg I've had has been thick as shit. dude.
Juicy.
Yeah, juicy.
Okay. Let's see. I think there's like one other positive
yeah.
thing. Okay. One other positive thing. Wait, two. Two more positive things than negative things. Positive thing, when we first meet Sutter Cane, when we first meet Jurgen Prochnow as Sutter Cane, there's a mob who's gone to this crazy church where Sutter Cane has holed up, and there's a man who's trying to get his son back, and we see the son, and the doors of the church are just like opening and closing. It's kind of weird, and then they open once, and Sutter Cane is there, and there's this like subtle push in, and Jurgen is like kind of Mona Lisa smile, just like a gentle, kind of smug, evil smile.
Yeah,
And
it's
it's just a
wild.
really good intro.
Oh
Where
yeah.
it's like you get a real sense of who this fucking guy is that like there's a mob of insane people.
Yeah.
They all have guns, and his response is almost nothing.
Yeah.
Like he's smiling a little, but he's not
Amused.
scared
Yeah.
even a little bit. He's just kind of, oh, okay, what are you guys
Hi.
doing?
Hello. Yeah, that was like a total shift in the movie for me. I was like, "Whoa, what's going on?" Like it was really well done. It's like,
Yes.
woo. Which I have to say, at first I was like fully convinced that was Neil Gaiman. I was like, "What, Neil?" And then I was like, "Wow, he must have modeled his look."
Neil Gaiman should do more acting.
Yeah, he would have been good too.
He should do some acting. Has he done any acting?
I don't know.
Okay, another good thing. The guy who plays the main town person,
yes,
is like a big, weird, insane person. Also plays Vigo in Ghostbusters 2.
Oh, that's where I know. Yes.
Yes. You will want to follow at Food Courtcast if you haven't, because I'm going to post a link to an article that is fucking insane.
Okay.
That guy, I need to look up his name because his name is insane too.
What's his name? What's his name?
The fuck is his
What
name?
Is his name?
Oh my
We are
god, what's the
looking
full
up
cast?
Name. I am so
Where is it?
excited to
Where
find
is
out
it?
the name of this guy.
Oh, his name is Wilhelm von Homburg.
Wow.
See, that's a real man's name. He was an insane, evil person.
Very.
Like literally evil. Did horrible, horrible things. And there's this long article about horrible crimes that he committed.
Wow.
So just check out the article, be horrified by it, and know that guy who's in Die Hard and Ghostbusters 2 and this is a piece of shit.
Yeah, I had a feeling he gave off that vibe.
Did you just get a sense
I was like, this
guy seems like he would do crime.
That's why I was surprised he wasn't a villain. I was like, he's got kind of a like. I even thought his face. I mean, they may have done. I think they did some prosthetics.
I think they did some.
Developed, but yeah, I was like, gosh, he's kind of scary. Not to be mean, but now that I know he sucks, whatever.
He does suck. Michael,
Yes.
I'll go first with lo mein
Fuss.
because
I'll go
I'll go
first.
fuck. I'm gonna go fuck with
Fuck.
lo mein
It's so
because
hard.
I have an easy one. This is my least favorite part of the movie, my lo mein. And there's a few things that I love about it, but this is my main thing.
Yeah.
It has a shitty poster.
Wow.
I don't know if you've seen this poster.
Yeah.
Listener, watcher, go to your phone, look up the poster for In the Mouth of Madness. It is a picture of a book, and there's a picture of like people screaming, kind of floating into the book, which is based sort of on the original ending. Like apparently in the original ending of the movie, which they couldn't afford, everything was supposed to get sucked into the book.
Oh wow.
Which would have not been nearly as good as the ending we got. The ending we got is fucking fantastic.
It's wild. Yeah.
Him in the movie theater laughing, that's just great.
Which is essentially the same thing.
Yeah, I mean it is. It makes the same point,
yeah,
but it's more active. It's just him going insane and he's watching a movie. It's fun.
Exactly.
But the poster, one of the main reasons I didn't watch this until a few years ago is because I just had no expectation of it based on this kind of lame,
very
shit-ass poster that gives you no sense of what the movie is. Like, it's not, okay, this is a movie that's scary, and it is a movie that's funny, and it is a movie that's, like, really clever.
Yeah.
And also, in many ways, thoughtful. Like, the talking about the people going insane because of stuff they read is also representative, like, just, like, literal people who are, read things.
Yeah.
Read Q conspiracies and get insane. And it's when you see the poster, it's just like, so there's like a book and there's screaming
people, ghosts maybe.
Now I will say, as a counterpoint to myself, how do you represent this movie in a poster? I have no idea.
I'll tell you how.
Okay.
I found a Blu-ray cover that is like illustrated, kind of like the book covers in the movie, and I loved it. I was like, this is so cool, and like, it pulls me in because I'm like, what the heck is this movie about? There's so much strange imagery.
That's smart.
I was like, I would watch that movie, but yeah, I agree, that poster is awful. It's cheesy and stupid looking.
It doesn't make any fucking sense. No. Like, this was a studio movie. They paid money to have this made.
Yes.
Why didn't they go, well, this is a horror movie. Maybe we should at least make it look scary.
Maybe.
What if this poster represented a scary movie at the very least?
Yeah.
If you can't represent the entire wealth of fun involved in this movie, can we at least make it look scary?
Just a plain red with the text of the movie would have been better.
It would be 100 times better than that stupid fucking poster.
Or just use the book cover that they use in the movie. That would have been
that'd be really cool.
Yeah, and it replaced Sutter Cane with John Carpenter. So.
Yes.
Way better. Yeah, I hate the poster. I would never watch that. You're not supposed to judge a movie by its poster.
Sure.
Or a book or whatever.
But you do.
You do, yeah. That's a one of our instinctual things we develop to keep ourselves safe.
Of course. Is that true?
Yeah. Well, it's also unfortunately why we stereotype, which is not the best.
Isn't it?
But if I saw some tentacle people, I'd be stereotyping.
Yeah, I'd be like, I don't trust these people.
The part with the tentacles under the door, literally, that made me sick. I was like,
that part kicks ass. Because also, at first, you see like wings or some shit.
Yeah.
She is behind the glass door of an old-timey hotel
thing.
And it is etched glass. And it's one of those like glass doors that has kind of, I don't know, like lacy etching in it.
Yeah.
And so you just see the barest outline of her and see the wings come. Oh, it's good.
It's nuts. All these weird sounds. Good. And she's like, and you're like, oh god. Yeah. Oh, those tentacles are so gross. I was like, yuck.
Michael.
Sick. Oh, yes.
Would you stop saying nice things about this and start saying mean things? Because we are low-maining. This is our low-main of the picture. What's the worst part of this movie, Michael?
Gosh, it's hard. It's really hard for me to think of something.
Mm-hmm.
I was so pleasantly surprised, and I had zero, like, I had no
Yes.
clue what it was going to be about, which was
Yes.
great. But if I had to pick
You must.
something, my low main, I think it's very effective and creepy. But I
Yeah.
think the old lady effect looked a little cheesy when she's like
Yes.
typically. It looked kind of like haunted house, like, you know, like
Yeah.
animatronic or something. It just didn't really
It's kind of like I think
work.
it's maybe a clay thing.
Maybe
Is it clay?
it could have been. I think the face just didn't sell it. It was like, this looks goofy.
Yes.
Something's wrong
The
here.
face is not
Yeah,
great.
but it's also kind of works because it's like it's still very jarring and just like,
Yes.
ugh, I don't want to be near.
It's kind
that.
of fun.
Yeah.
On the same token, another thing that I don't love is there in the inside of the hotel there's this special weird painting
Oh
that
yeah.
changes to let them know that shit is weird.
Yeah.
And one problem is it doesn't look like a painting. Like it just looks like shitty digital art or
Yeah.
something. It does not look like a real painting.
Yeah.
But I mean, there is some cool parts, like when the bit is the painting changes. You see the people slowly mutate. That's cool. But the painting itself doesn't look great.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like a painting.
Yeah, it's a weird. It would have been better if it was just like a picture or something. Like
yeah,
like a framed picture. But yeah, that didn't work. It was really off. But I mean, for the time, I'm sure they did the best they could. Like
98, 99, who knows?
Well, sometimes those
97?
old effects like can kind of like the
95.
94.
I finally looked it up. It's 95.
If you
91.
say so.
83.
Or is it right now? Are we in the movie?
I mean, I mentioned it earlier, but I many times thought, oh shit, we're inside this movie.
Oh, yeah. Because we are doing what they made a movie of it. We watched the movie. We're talking about the movie. We're spreading this new gospel, as he says, the new Bible.
Yes. But the exciting thing about this movie is that it teaches us not to believe in the bullshit.
Yeah, that's very true.
The movie's like, hey, if you believe in all this bullshit,
you'll go crazy.
You're gonna kill people.
Yeah.
And you're gonna end up in a movie theater just having a great time.
Yeah.
But you'll be insane.
Exactly.
And everyone will be dead.
Yeah, everyone around you.
So don't go around believing the bullshit. Listener, watcher. Don't vote for who. I mean, I'm not gonna say who, but don't vote for him.
Sutter Cane.
That could represent either of the candidates.
Candidates. One of my favorite lines was Sutter Cane goes, "I think, therefore you are." And I was like, that's scary. Spooky.
Oh, it's really good.
Oh, that was what I was going to say. Like, the effect of him, like, tearing himself into paper is not the best. But it is, like, so weirdly done that it's kind of interesting. Like, old effects are kind of interesting because you're like, how the hell did they even do that? Like, it's kind of wild.
Some weird digital shit. Even the concept itself that there is part of a book, like, it's a little, I don't know, a little wonky.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why our main character needs to look into an abyss that also has, like, little torn pages.
Yeah, it would have worked fine if, like, the door had, like, sucked him into it or something.
Yeah.
You know? Like,
or if the door had cracked open.
Yeah.
And there was nothing. And a lot of that scene works because she is reading out of the book.
That was so well done.
And he is finally realizing that he is, in fact, the main character of this book. His life is completely manufactured. You are the one, Neo.
Yeah.
There is no spoon. And he's looking into the abyss, and she is reading at what he's feeling as he's feeling it. And he begins to think, oh, shit. And we see it dawn on him, his face, that everything he thought was real is not.
Yeah.
And that he himself is not real.
Yeah, the sanity flipped with the insanity.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I love that scene. I thought that was so well done. Her like,
Oh, yeah.
and it was so tense because you don't see anything, and you're just like, what is this? It reminded me a lot of Prince of Darkness with the mirror. That stuff. It reminded me a lot of that vibe. I was like, ooh, spooky.
Prince of Darkness. We're not covering it this Carpentober,
Nope.
but if you have not
It's
seen
wild.
Prince of Darkness, check out Prince of Darkness.
It's cuckoo crazy.
It kicks ass.
Very creepy movie.
Do you have final thoughts about this wonderful film, In the Mouth of Madness?
Final thoughts. I loved it. I was very pleasantly
It's great.
surprised. Yeah.
Michael, it's great.
Yeah. Oh, there was one thing I thought. There I saw a note that reminded me. There's a part that I just like died laughing.
Yeah.
This was the only part that was maybe too much.
Yeah.
Maybe this is my low main, but it also cracked me up. There's a part where he like, I don't know when it is. I think maybe when he's like trying to escape and he keeps driving away, which I love that scene where the last time he's just like, he kind of just doesn't, he gives up and he just tries to drive through them.
Yeah.
But there's a part, I don't remember when it is, where like a crazy faced lady like with an axe like runs up and looks at him and then she just goes, "Fuck you."
Yes.
I like
that part's great.
I died laughing. I couldn't tell if I was like, this doesn't
No, that's a good
work.
part.
Yeah.
You were right. It's good.
I don't know.
She also says it kind of weird, like because
"Fuck
of her face is sort of distorted. She's kind of like, fuck you.
Yeah.
She's got kind of like a little. You can hear the spittle
Yeah.
like out of her mouth. Fuck you. It's good. That part's great. When you thought, is this great or not? You were right when you thought it was great because that part's amazing.
I guess so. Also, I love the slimy door. I thought that was very good, very creepy.
Slimy door
with all the creatures behind it.
Oh
I was
yes,
like, that was creepy.
Yes, it's just a big wooden door with chains keeping the old creatures out
The old
or
creatures.
in. I don't know which direction they're trying to get.
Who knows?
I guess they're trying to get out. But that door is slimy as fuck, dude.
Ugh, so slimy.
Michael,
Loved it.
we watched In the Mouth of Madness. We loved it.
Mm-hmm.
Next week, we are watching and talking about Body Bags.
Body Bags.
This was a TV movie, essentially. I think it was for Showtime.
Wow.
And it is an anthology movie, a lot like Creep Show, where there's just some horror shorts. It's really just fucking around. I mean, it's just Carpenter kind of fucking around. There's a Toby Hooper short in it. Watch it with us. Come back next week and talk to us about it.
Yeah,
Michael,
I'll be there.
What are your socials? Would you tell us your socials,
my
Michael?
socials. I am Mampy Hikes on Twitter and Instagram, so you can follow me there.
Okay.
That's it. Yeah.
That's enough. We don't need anything else.
Nothing else.
I am at Sean Parrott on Twitter. You can follow all of my tweets. I don't what is my Instagram? Is it Sean is okay?
Yeah, Sean is okay.
Just look for at Sean is okay on Instagram. I do many just humorous things on Instagram. You would love it.
Oh, the best thing that Sean does easily is his series Did I Cry, where he sees a movie and then he tells you if he cried.
I tell you if I cried. Usually
great.
I don't.
Yeah, usually not.
Sometimes I do.
Yeah.
I didn't cry during In the Mouth of Madness.
I was crying inside of happiness.
Wow.
In the mind of happiness.
In the mind of happiness.
Mm-hmm.
He needs to do a sequel.
Yeah.
To In the Mouth of Madness called In the Mind of Happiness. In the nose of joy. In the nose of sanity.
In the nose of sanity. Oh, yeah, that would be great.
In the nose of sanity.
I did think of one last line.
Go ahead. Please, tell me more.
So many before we
There
go.
is no time limit on our joy.
That's true. And this is a great sign-off. There's a part where he's like, and you want me to help you sell 1 million more copies? Well, fuck that. And because he's like...
That's amazing.
His accent kind of went in and out, and that was one of those times where it just came out really funny, and I was like, that was
fuck
great.
that. Like, yeah. Is he Australian?
I think
is that
so.
What he is?
Yeah. I think
Yes,
so.
there's definitely some times when like you can hear
Wow.
words elongate in a strange
Wow.
way where it's that
Wow.
is not an American way of saying that.
No.
That.
Ah.
Yeah, that's not an American way of saying that. Yeah, he does that. It is a real testament to the power of Sam Neill that
Yeah.
sometimes his accent is super wonky and you don't know what kind of
What?
accent it is.
You're just like, what?
He's never like I think he's supposed to be from New York, but he never sounds like he's from New York.
Hey.
But you don't give
One
even the smallest shit.
rat's butt.
He just kicks
Yeah,
ass.
he does.
Also, you can follow at Food Court Cast. I
Wow.
mentioned a bunch of times. You can follow at Food Court Cast on Twitter. Follow Food Court Movie Podcast on Instagram. Follow us on all the things. If you're not subscribed to us on Twitch, if you're watching right now and want to watch us more, subscribe on Twitch. If you're in your Instagram, write to us. If you're on your iTunes, write us a review. Give us 5 stars.
5 stars, 5 stars.
I think those are all the potential places you can go to and write.
I think so.
So write on all of those. On behalf of the late, great Michael Hampton.
Yes, sir.
On behalf of myself, Sean Parrott, may I say to you, bon appetit.
Bon appetit.